we've been taking our time to establish the websites.
I'm so offended. I don't know. I don't have the words.
My language might be quite expressive. Okay.
Are you joking?
Zero revenue.
If you want to be a businessman, you need to think of an idea, right?
I'd like to start today's interaction by appreciating Elizabeth, Elvis, Helen, Faith, Brago, Bingpe, and every other person who is part of the strategy club who has joined tscafrica.com. And I wanted to check it out and see where you fit in that community. So today we're going to talk about bootstrapping. But we're going to talk about it in the context of a certain video that has been making the rounds, which showed somebody who had not done his homework deeply. Let's take a look at this.
Your business was established in 2018?
Yes, 2018.
What were your revenues in 2018?
We had no revenues, sir.
2019?
No revenues.
2020?
No revenues yet.
And in 2021?
No revenues yet.
Okay.
Are you joking?
Zero revenues. So what have you done in the 4 years?
So we've been taking our time to establish the websites and also trying to establish the businesses that we have.
Well, if I was not on national TV, my language might be quite expressive. But honestly, I think you're wasting your time and you came to waste our time.
I'm so offended. I don't know. I don't have the words.
And if you're joining us for the first time, the reason why we're here is to showcase emerging entrepreneurs. And one of the things we place value on is what we call bootstrapping. We're going to talk about that a bit, but we're going to talk about it in the context of the video that you just saw. We're going to do a little bit of kind of like walk through this video and try to point out some of the things that we can learn from this video. We can learn a lot from how the presenter, how the entrepreneur experienced those people who are basically analyzing his new business. Now, first of all, this clip is from Lion's Den. Now, before I go there, I want to show you something about what I found out about the Lion's Den. And you probably already know this, but I want to show you the caliber of people that are typically involved in these sessions, the caliber of investors, the level of their experience in the industry. Now, the first person you heard speaking was Bolaji Balogun, and he is the CEO of Chapel Hill Denham. And Chapel Hill Denham has been instrumental to, is a broad range of investment conversations with with some of the biggest organizations in Nigeria, in Africa. So this is his profile. You can go on the website and read it. He has seen it all in terms of investment, in terms of business, in terms of ideas, in terms of entrepreneurship. So he's not the kind of person that you can fool, so to speak. So he's going to, if you bring an idea to him, he's going to basically scrutinize it with all the experience he has. So you want to be careful as an emerging entrepreneur when engaging people at this level, because they are very high in their thinking. They are very sophisticated in their thinking, and you have to be prepared. And that is why he said that if he wasn't on national television, he probably would have used more sophisticated language, if you know what that means, to describe the gentleman that was presenting. Another person that was on that panel is Audrey Joe-Ezigbo. She is also very high in the industry. She is into oil and gas, and she is been a coach for some time as well. And she's also very critical in her thinking. That kind of a panel. Another person of interest in that is called Onwuanibe. Yeah, I think that's the pronunciation. He also, if you know about Landmark Group, recently there was this hot conversation around the coastal roads, the coastal highway that the president of Nigeria was pushing to roll out. I believe they are on it right now, from Lagos all the way to Port Harcourt, if I'm not mistaken. And one of his outfits, the Landmark, kind of like a hotel or a resort, was affected, and he came on TV to talk about it. So these guys are worth millions and billions. Those kinds of things could happen to them, like the total, the knockout of their business, of one of their businesses, and they're okay because they have backings upon backings upon backings. So these are the kind of people that you're coming to talk to in such a forum, in such a competition like the Lions Den. So it's important to know them. And if you wanted to participate in the Lions Den, it's important to be sure that you're ready for that. Yes. Go downstairs. Okay, go and stay with mommy. I'm coming. Thank you. All right, that was my daughter. All right. So if you want to face this kind of people, you want to be prepared. You want to be really, really prepared, right? And to take the heat. One more interesting person that I want to really focus on in this conversation is Adenike Ogunlesi. Adenike Ogunlesi is the founder of Rough and Tumble, and it has an interesting story. Rough and Tumble was, she started Rough and Tumble in the booth of her car. So this was one of those people that, as exposed as she is, as beautiful as she is, she didn't mind going from one spot to the other, selling clothing from the booth of her car. Now it's become a big name, and everybody like, oh, she's so sophisticated, she's so aloof. She's not. She's just grown. And it's the same thing, and that's the focus of what we want to dig into today. The issue of being able to bootstrap. Start small, think big, grow fast, grow intelligently, right? So these are the kind of people that this young man, came to talk to, so to speak. And we're going to look at that video again and look at it one step at a time at some of the things that they were saying. I'm going to just scroll it back and start again.
Your business was established in 2018?
Yeah.
Your business was established in 2018. I want to believe that at the time of this conversation, the business was about 4 years old. That puts it about 2022 when this session was going on.
And in 2021?
No revenues yet.
Okay.
Are you joking?
So Adenike asks him, are you joking? Because it doesn't make sense to her. It doesn't make sense to her that he's been, doing this business for 4 years and he's not made any revenue at all. So somebody will ask, how did he even get to this point? How did he get to a point where he's standing in front of these 4 giants in the industry and he has little or nothing to say? How? Now, I want to say something about it, and don't take my word for it. Don't quote me, but this is a theory. There are quite a few of these, pitch competitions, accelerator programs, and all this stuff that people rely on who they know to get in. And it doesn't pay anyone because, first of all, you deprive those who are actually doing something the opportunity to get funded. Secondly, you basically waste the investors' time. There's money to be invested, but they are not getting the right people. Another point is that eventually, if you are not serious about your work, you will obviously fail at the end of the day. Whether you fail in the pitch competition, or you fail in the investment, or you fail in the business, the best thing is forget about shortcuts and basically, get into that realm where you are actually focused on delivering real value, right? So let's look again. Let's look again at what's going on here. Yeah.
So what have you done in the 4 years?
So we've been taking our time to establish the websites and also trying to establish the businesses that we have.
Well, if I was not on national TV, my language might be quite expressive. But honestly, I think you're wasting your time and you came to waste our time.
I'm so offended. I don't know. I don't have the words.
Now, I want you to notice again, I mentioned that Bolaji had said he's basically restraining himself. So this young man, and I want you to take a look at the young man's face very closely. He's very, very, at the beginning, he's very, very confident that he is on the right track. He walks in confidently, he's doing the right thing, he's answering boldly, no revenue, no revenue, no revenue. And then he begins to say, we were establishing our website, we were establishing our other businesses. What does establishing mean in 4 years? What does building a website mean in 4 years? Was he focused on the right thing, right? What does that really mean? And then Audrey says, I'm so offended, which is natural. And I want you to understand the implications of that. If this young man comes back to Lions Den again, will he be taken seriously? Now, with the spread of this video on the internet, if he applies for any other accelerator program, investor program, reality TV show focused on business, how will he be perceived? It's important to think long term in these things so that we're not just trying to get in by all means. We're not going to try to get in where we are not prepared, right? We need to be prepared when we are getting in.
It's not so much the 0,000 revenues. Is that I look at your websites, it's a new dawn for oil and gas, industrial marine, consultancy, energy services, logistics. I'm not sure what you've come to present. And in the nothingness of your presentation, you are valuing nothing at 200 million.
You are a poor representation of the youth of this country.
Yeah, so Audrey says you are valuing nothing at 200 million naira. Now, why is it nothing? It's nothing because though you have a very fine looking website, though you have made a lot of claims on the website, the worth is worth very little, is worth almost nothing, and you're asking people to invest in nothing. Investors want to see traction. They want to see that you're moving on the things that matter. Investors don't want to see a website or a fancy logo or a well-dressed person. They want to see business that is actually moving, and they want to key into it. They want to get on board and help you do what you are already doing. So traction is very important. They want to help you do what you're already doing, right? Very important to know that. And so he didn't know that. He thought that, okay, a nice website will get me visibility. Maybe he has a friend in the company and they got him in to present, or maybe for whatever reason they got him in to present. He felt confident that he was on the right track. But Audrey rightly said, you are trying to get 200 million naira for nothing.
Who are busting themselves to come up with ideas, who are busting themselves to work hard to make something of themselves.
If you want to be a businessman, you need to think of an idea, right? Then you need to go and execute that idea to a certain point, at least. And then you put yourself in front of people to see whether they'll buy into that idea. Yes? You can't come to a platform like this with nothing and expect to leave with something. That's the only advice I can give you, because I can't comment on the business. I don't know what business there is. So unfortunately, obviously I won't be investing, and I'm out.
Yeah. So Paul now hit the nail on the head in terms of bootstrapping. If you want to be a businessman, and I want to start by saying, not everyone is designed to do business. Not everyone is designed to be an entrepreneur. So you don't have to be an entrepreneur. If you are trying to get into entrepreneurship simply because you're trying to make money, that might be a problem. And if you must get into entrepreneurship, by all means, consider partnerships. So he says that, look, if you want to be a businessman, if you want to do something, first of all, test it. Test it. And nobody does a test with both feet in the water. Everybody who does a test with caution. They tread carefully in doing that test. Just put in one step at a time. And that's the meaning of bootstrapping. That's the meaning of taking your time to test the market. The first set of people you should be trying to impress are customers, not investors. Customers. Impress customers first. Let there be a bunch of people who want what you're selling. Let there be a bunch of people, however little they may be. Let there be some traction. Let there be some motion. And then you can say, I'm going to tell somebody who has money, I have been able to do from A, B, C. I want you to take me to G, E, F, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and so forth, right? They want to see traction. I'm going to close this video by talking to you about 3 elements of bootstrapping, just 3 of them. Now, 3 elements of bootstrapping. The first is that you have to try to use what you have. What you have may be the money you have, or the money you have from friends and family. What you have may be the skills that you have. Assuming you want to be a photographer, you probably need 2 things: your skills and a camera, right? To start becoming a photographer to start with. You probably don't need a lens that is this long. You need to prove yourself with this camera before you get that long lens, right? So you basically want to start with what you have. A lot of people, they basically they feel that I can't start if I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, you can start with what you have. You prove yourself with what you have, and then you ask for help. Many people out there are willing to help somebody who is helping themselves. And that's what Paul is saying. I want you to just listen to it again. Listen to it very closely again. Let's step back a bit and then listen to it. And
if you want to be a businessman, you need to think of an idea, right? Then you need to go and execute that idea to a certain point, at least. And then you put yourself in front of people to see whether they'll buy into that idea. Yes? You can't come to a platform like this with nothing and expect to leave with something. That's the only advice I can give you, because I can't comment on the business. I don't know what business there is. So unfortunately, obviously I won't be investing, and I'm out.
all right. So the first element, use what you have, right? Impress the customers, and then begin to work towards impressing investors. So the second thing you need to understand is focus on the core. You know, this concept of a minimum viable product is a very powerful concept. All right, so focus on the core. What is your minimum viable product? What is the fundamental set of components of your business that when you launch it in the market, some people will buy? What's the minimum set? That's what you want to ask yourself, because that minimum set will cost you a minimum investment and will allow you to prove your theory. We are not always correct. That's what we say in strategy. We're not always correct in our theory that people will buy what we're selling. So you want to prove your theory with that focused core set of products and services that you're bringing to the market. Then you go and begin to grow it out if it's actually working. The third thing is that you do some things yourself. In fact, you may end up doing most things yourself as a beginner. And I've had conversations with people who say, oh, I want the best. Oh, I want to go on TV and advertise. Oh, no, I say, look, I want to launch a website. That's one of the most popular ones, right? And I keep asking them, excuse me, how many websites have you visited in the last 1 week that is not a CNN, a Facebook, or any other big name that's out there? The competition on the internet is massive because everybody's free. So if you don't have money to get into a certain level, play at a certain level, I don't know whether having your own website is your best bet. Using social media might be a better deal, or using a shared platform, a listing platform, a community, right, might be the best bet. So do things yourself. Don't pay too much for things that are not your core. So I've listed 3 things. Number 1, use what you have. 2, focus on the core of your business. 3, do things yourself. That's some of the elements of bootstrapping. It's when you successfully impress the customer, then you're in a good position to impress the investor. Thank you. I hope this makes sense. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments and do subscribe.